All right, so Sultai Slimefoot. This deck is an infinite combo deck. So how the combo works is we have standard staple. Oh, I need to put chat back up on screen because I had it hidden yesterday. There's chat. So standard staple, Ruthless Knave. Says sacrifice a creature, make 2 colorless treasure tokens. Then Slimefoot here has pay 4, make a 1/1. Oh wait, is this actually infinite? Am I miscounting? Maybe it's not infinite. Activated abilities cost 2 less. It's not actually infinite, right? It's pay 1, deal a damage, or is it cost 2 less? So if you have two Biomancer familiars, it's infinite. So with infinite, to go infinite, you have two familiars, a Slimefoot, and a Knave. And then Slimefoot is pay 1, make a 1/1. And then Knave is pay 1, get 2 treasures. And this says when you sacrifice a thing, they take 1. Okay, so we are technically infinite if we have double Biomancer. This deck has Incubation to try and assemble its infinite. This deck also has Treasure Map and Karn as a backup plan to kind of draw through and do some filtering. There's probably, it's probably wrong to just not play Krasis in here. Like, is Karn better than just playing Krasis? We have so much ramp. Yeah, Biomancer says cost can't be less than 1. Krasis also gets hit by Incubation Incongruity. Let's swap this. And I think I'm gonna turn 2 treasure maps into a couple of hostage takers. And actually, I'm gonna turn the other 2 into Find Finality, because this rebuys our combo pieces if they die. This is the type of deck we'd play. Is this the type of deck we played unranked if you're trying to hit top 1,000? I don't think so. So let's talk about this. Let me update the list here real quick. And adding more creatures makes our incubations incongruity better too. One of the things I do like about what this deck is doing is that while Slimefoot's a little bit mediocre on his own, Biomancer's Familiar is a card that's kind of sweet with both of these, which is nice. So this deck does have some synergy outside of its combo that we're shoving in here. So let's go ahead and play some games. Does Vivien make sense? Vivien could make sense. Is Vivien better than Carnage Tyrant in the sideboard? Yeah, it's probably the case. No, stop it. Don't cut Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves is great. All play modes. Alright, there we go. Thanks, Genser. I appreciate that. And so again, when people submit decks, I do often clean up some of the details surrounding what's submitted, but I do my best to keep the core deck idea that was submitted the same. So we made some changes, but we kept the combo in here, which is the idea of the deck. No, Growth Chamber Guardian's just a good magic card that also works well with Biomancer's Familiar. So I think I definitely want to keep Growth Chamber Guardian in my deck. Hey, thanks, Suck Attack. I appreciate it. As a heads up, Zuck, you can also find a lot of my content on my website and my YouTube channel. So I appreciate the subs, but you do not have to be subbed to enjoy my stuff. Oh, I have the sound muted. Good call. Fixed the sound. The best way to collect cards in Arena is with the most powerful card in Magic the Gathering, your credit card. RG, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one. So, this being a 6/6 is probably really tough for them to beat, right? Like this is a good reason why Growth Chamber Guardian is worth playing in this deck. Like, this is actually just very good. Like, this is a powerful interaction. I think the green-white tokens deck was very fortunate to never play against a Goblin Chainwhirler deck. How do we feel about my camera down here versus being up there? Do we have thoughts or feelings on it? I think I might prefer my camera in the bottom. I'm not sure, though. I could do this, which puts my alerts not over their deck and discard pile. Oh, it does block the phase sequencing down here. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to put it back. I had to put it at the bottom for the Rivals overlay yesterday. There we go. The turn sequencing is important. I agree. All right, what am I doing here? Let's do this. Let's do this. And then I think I just make another 6/6 here. Having a bunch of 6/6s here seems really good. Like, Biomancer just, like, lets me add 2/2 to these every turn, which is kind of awesome. I'm still missing Slimefoot to full combo. So, like, in this... So, like, when you're playing a kind of combo-style deck like this, this is one of the things you want to look for. Like, our deck is doing reasonable things, even when we're not comboing, is basically what it comes down to. I assume they're going to kill my Familiar here. If I draw a land, I can Hostage Taker their Chainwhirler and Chainwhirler them. We did not draw a land. Yeah, but if they sack Chainwhirler, they're then losing a treasure. So, like, sacking the Chainwhirler puts them down a card effectively, which is nice for us. This is a 3-2, which means it dies to their thing. I think I'm just playing this out. I'm gonna go ahead and do this now, because again, if they want to throw a goblin at it in response, they have to sack a treasure to do that, which is a worthwhile exchange for me. I don't think it's worth going for the Chain Whirler anyways, because then my opponent just untaps and sacks 2 goblins and kills the hostage taker. That's true. I could crack with 6/6s and then hostage taker the Phoenix Egg. That's not unreasonable. Karn's very good here.
Our actions determine the course of history. A curious choice.
I didn't play the Familiar there because I'd prefer the Familiar doesn't just get killed by Siege Gang Commander. They don't give you wild cards as you earn duplicates, because then you would just only buy sets that you have full sets of, because you'd be opening wild cards in your booster packs. So the reason why they don't just give you wild cards is very straightforward. Do we just take Siege Gang at this point? The problem with taking Siege Gang is that if I take Siege Gang and they untap, like... and they untap and kill my thing, they get 3 more tokens. So, like, the risk to reward there doesn't seem fantastic. Meh. Maybe we're not winning this game regardless. No gamble, no future. This lets them trade Rix Maddie for my 6/6. Oh, this exchange seems fine for me. They don't have a way to kill Hostage Taker next turn. We're actually pretty far ahead. Yeah, I'm not sure why they block like that. They should probably just chump the other one and then put the Rix Maddie with the Phoenix, right? So maybe a little bit of a mistake on my opponent's part there. If they don't have a removal spell here, we get to play the Siege Gang next turn. And Siege Gang with Biomancer's Familiar is actually pretty good, huh? Oh no! Oh no! Well, we tried, fam. Oh, we don't have red to activate Siege Gang, you're right. At least we get a frog. Oh yeah, we can make treasurers. We can technically make treasurers to activate him. Yeah, the nice part about gambling on Arena is we just lose a match and some rank points. We don't lose actual US dollars. Which is nice. It's a 2-3. 2-3 means he dies less quickly. Alright, huh. So, I'm gonna attack with this way. And then if they try and stack block this, I can Incongruity it. So this happens, and then before damage, we do this, which lets me eat their 2/1. I'm just gonna play Ruthless Knave out this turn to use my mana. Obviously, they can throw a goblin at it, but, like, them throwing a goblin at Knave isn't that bad for us here. Worth noting, my opponent this turn can play a land, Siege Gang a goblin at our face, down tick Karn, get Rixmatty Reveler, draw 3. So Siege Gang enabling Rixmatty is pretty scary. Yeah, they can even do all this turn. Like, they have 6 mana left here, so if I was them, I'd probably Siege Gang my face for 2, down tick Karn, draw 3 with the Reveler. Yeah, I like this line from the opponent.
Action is needed.
It's possible I should have just taken their Phoenix with my hostage taker. Because if they hadn't gotten 3 more goblin tokens, I'd probably be okay. We do not combo them. You need 2 Biomancer's Familiars to fully combo. We need two Biomancer's Familiars to fully combo. Which is why the combo is difficult to assemble. No, the opponent down-ticked Karn to get Reveler.
Well chosen.
Yeah, like, games like this are really why the Climb deck is so good. Because, like, Climb and Krasis lets you just literally go over the top of games that look like this. And there's a lot of mid-range matches in Standard right now that get 2 points like this pretty regularly. Are we done here? Yeah, we're probably pretty done here. I think this is probably in garbage time at this point. Yeah, Karn punched the clock and went to work there for them. Our main deck all seems pretty good here. I guess Llanowar Elves is bad against their Chain Whirlers, so I'm going to cut those. I'll bring in 2 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Viviens. That seems fine. Is Vivien better or worse than Assassin's Trophy? I guess I have a hard time protecting her, and this kills their Karns and their treasure maps, which is valuable. Thanks, Alkalol. Correct, Deadbane. Just Krasis out of Sultai. Puts it in such a reasonable position overall. Sure, yep. I think I just play a tapped land here. Would I rather this die or this die? I think I'd rather this die. Thanks, Lonian. Yeah, it's really weird to me. So, like, we've played a bunch of Jundwurler on stream, and Jundwurlers felt really good when we've played it, and I genuinely don't understand why these decks moved away from playing Status Statue. Like, that card seems really good in these decks. And, like, being able to destroy artifacts and enchantments also seems good in bigger creatures. Like, part of the reason why the Klein deck was so successful against all the red-black decks I played yesterday was because the red-black decks couldn't kill big creatures. Like, maybe she only had one. She was playing the deck list from the GP that had one copy in the sideboard. It's basically like not playing it at all. I'm talking about the deck list that we're playing 3 or 4 of them in the main deck that we've played on stream in the past. The big difference between one. I'm not. Yeah, I agree, Bob. I feel like having played that list a bunch, it feels like a weird conclusion to me to cut that card. Game 2 was really good television, the finals for sure.
An excellent choice.
Quality TV. And, like, maybe Status Statute is clunky, so you don't want 4 of them, but, like, playing 2 to 3 in the main seems super reasonable. You think those are different decks? No, they're really not. If you look at a lot of the cards that they're playing, a lot of the Jundwurler decks are very similar. I have a copy of Shock here. You have a copy of Shock? Okay. Or they just have status. Sure. Similar, not the same, is just the most actually thing that you can say in Twitch chat. Get out of here. Simic, a whole guild built around the word moist. Yeah, basically. No, I'm gonna play the same deck list card for card again. I don't think the tokens matchup is that bad. I think even with a couple fiery cannonades in my deck, you're not gonna draw them that often. And like, when the tokens deck doesn't have its absolute best draw, you're perfectly fine against it. If you make a bunch of knee-jerk changes to your deck every time you get nut drawn 2 out of 3 games, like, you're just gonna be constantly making mediocre changes to your deck. Yeah, the tokens deck is not super popular, and I think the matchup's actually pretty reasonable overall. That seems good for me. Yeah, I agree. They had good draws all 3 games. It's just, I also had a good draw game 2, and I was on the play. So I assume we're going to see a chump block here.
Your efforts are futile.
I'm just going to do this plus Knave this turn. Yeah, and like that's just part of the game, right? Like I beat people with good draws who stumbled too. Like that's just part of Magic. It's just like it's important to be able to take a step back and like look back on your games and realize like, oh, I don't need to make a bunch of changes to my deck. That's fine for a matchup that's one, not that popular, and two, not actually that bad if they have closer to their average draw. I think Growth Chamber Guardian's great. I think it's one of the better cards in the set. Definitely one of the best green cards around. Yeah, Magic's got an absurd amount of variance in it. You want living proof that Magic's got an absurd amount of variance in it? Look at the MPL players who were probably the best players in that tournament yesterday. I don't think any of them top-8'd, right? Like, and they were definitely the best players in the event. I know Jerry Thompson, Martin Yuza. I'm not sure if there were others. I think they might have been the only two MPL folks in the tournament, but like,
there are greater.
Just being good at Magic doesn't mean you win all your matches or even most of your matches. I think I'm a solid B plus Magic player, Pat. But like, to say I'm on the same caliber level of those other players, I think is also like, does a disservice to how good those players are. Most people are average, and there's lots of people who are below average. B plus might even be generous for myself. I think I just attack. No, I'm gonna attack with this too. I just attack with everything here. Yeah, and I think I just deal... This is 8, 11, 13, and then I just play a Krasis for 5. Yeah, there were a lot of PT winners in that tournament. And this is... So, like, the combo is something that's unlikely to happen in this deck, obviously, because it's 4 cards, but, like... Just the fact that, like, we can play a functional game of Magic without it, and, like, our combo pieces can be useful. Like, the Biomancer's Familiar is genuinely useful with our Adapt creatures, is a reason why this deck can be reasonable. Yeah, but there's really no reason to, like, make them... I'm so far ahead there, Derelict, that there's no reason to take a risk as opposed to just playing my Krasis. Nah, second in one tournament doesn't mean anything, especially a small tournament like that. Like I went 7-1 on the day. Like that's not really like that's a short run. Like I have a lot of finishes in bigger tournaments, but you know. All right, well there's 3 of the 4 combo pieces. Unfortunately, we're gonna get picked apart by removal here. Probably lead on Growth Chamber Guardian to try and bait the first piece of removal. The combo is double Biomancer's Familiar, Slimefoot, Ruthless Knave. Combo kills the opponent. For people who are not familiar with all of our standard staples here. Hey, J-Bags, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ruthless Knave. Do 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 do. Ruthless Knave. Do 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 do. Is Deckmaster down? Is Deckmaster working? Deckmaster claims to be working. And you make it rain chocolate. It felt Ruthless Knave went to that melody very well. Alright. Alrighty. Deckmaster's good. Excellent. It's all lit up like it works. That song's only for Marvin Fade. It went well with Ruthless Knave. Get out of here. Alright, for the meme potential, I'm discarding the Krasis. So we can draw another Biomancer's Familiar. Oh, that's real good. That's real good. I think I'm actually taking a Growth Chamber Guardian here. Please play a Siege Gang Commander and then let me draw a Biomancer's Familiar. We're not infinite yet. We're not infinite. We need a second Biomancer's Familiar. So right now, we can pay 1 mana to deal 1 damage. Biomancer's Familiar. Biomancer's Familiar. Biomancer's Familiar. Biomancer's Familiar. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Rude. Rude. So, never lucky, chat. Never lucky. Never lucky. This only does damage to players, right? Rude. Alright. Well, I guess we do this, and we trophy the Siege Gang, and then we hope for the best. Shuffler, confirm rigged against us. Didn't draw our 3 outer and 49 cards. Confirmed broken Shuffler. Stacked the deck. Add it to the pile of evidence, chat. When we take this Shuffler to court, we're gonna need all of these examples, okay? That's incredibly rude.
You're just fuel.
Oh, they're giving us a redraw. They're giving us a redraw. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. No respect. No respect. Maybe they don't. Oh no, they shocked that in. Just play a Rixmatty Reveler. Just play a Rixmatty Reveler. What are we supposed to do? This 1 little, 2 little, 3 little farts now, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little farts now. Do 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 do. Alright, so we play this out. We pass. I think I pass. I think we pass. One mana adapt is real good. One mana adapt is quite fantastical. There's no chance this card is real in anything, right? Thanks, Flash Panda. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, one of my scrolling banners, and they're actually having a standard tournament, a paper standard tournament in March that I'm going to be playing in. So I'm excited to play Climb again in that. That's rude. It's incredibly rude.
Your crew for my freedom.
Biomancer's Familiar could be good with Terramander. Gosh, that's really scary with Terramander. That sounds really sweet. Hey, thanks, Capitalist Pick. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. Yeah, a couple of, someone had mentioned, not necessarily quasi-duplicate, but, the Simic split card could be good. That's, it's Stifle slash the other card. Since we do need 2 familiars. Yeah, we're probably dead here. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. As always, a big shout-out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Thanks for keeping me here, folks. I'd also like to mention a couple of my sponsors really quick here. Quip provides wonderful, affordable, quality electric toothbrushes, and using my link bit.ly/HoogleQuip, you can get your first refill kit with an extra brush head, toothpaste, and battery from them for free. And an extra thing I'm doing for the Quip sponsor, if you sign in with your Twitch account when you use my link and buy a brush, you'll be able to bump a deck in my deck queue by 25 points. Hurly Burly Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. They do border extensions like my beautiful basic lands here, as well as full art replacements. If you go to hurlyburlystudio.com, you can find a wonderful portfolio of all of her work there. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your cards into other cards directed to other players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And of course, inkedgaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You could upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork that they already have on their website. All right, let's, I don't know that I want quasi-duplicate in here, but a couple copies of, what is it, Redupe? Hey, Gonads and Strife with the Twitch Prime. Thank you for that, I appreciate it. Replicate and Do I want to play a couple copies of this? I do see Twitch Prime and a sword, the Pat. Is this better than playing quasi-duplicate? Maybe just playing quasi-duplicate is better. Of course, the flip side of that is quasi-duplicate really isn't that fantastic in this deck just because I don't have that many enter the battlefield triggers. Quasi's much harder on the mana, that's true. This can stifle opposing Krasis activations. What would I want to trim for this card is another question. Everything we're playing is kind of core to what we're doing. Like, Find Finality is probably the only cut. And, like, is losing Find Finality worth some redundancy? Because Finality is also redundancy. Or Find is also redundancy. I'm not sure that it is. Yeah, I guess I could give up Hostage Taker. It probably would have to be Hostage Taker. Alright, let's try it for the sake of the memes. Yeah, Hostage Taker doesn't help the combo, but it's just like a good Magic card that's also good with being able to copy it. I did it for the memes. Alright, alright. Alright, little elf, I apologize for sending you into the shock. Title of the autobiography, we did it for the memes. You really do know all the commands, Dwyer. They've been to Chemister's Insight. That's interesting. So that probably implies they're playing some kind of Grixis control deck. Probably implies they're playing some kind of Grixis control deck. Second place was 1,500 USD. Does not a bad day for playing the Magic cards. It is a lot of Portillos. You're not wrong. Hey, thanks for the Prime, the Pep. I think I'm just playing this and like attacking for 4 here. We actually had Portillos last night for dinner, which is funny. Hey, awesome, Jace. Well, welcome. Thanks for dropping in. We picked up a lot of followers yesterday, which was awesome. So we didn't just get some dollar dues. We got some good exposure too. That's the best, when the exposure comes with dollar dues as well. I'm not convinced that Biogenic Ooze is better than just having a bunch of Hellkite Stauber, especially when you consider that you're curving, especially when you consider the fact that you're curving, what's the word I'm searching for? You're curving, oh, my mouth is mush. When you're curving Phoenix into it. Through Patreon or Twitch subscriptions. Definitely prefer Twitch subscriptions, Icy Dealer. If you're going to pick one or the other. Hey, Nifty, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. I do have a Patreon. My #1 rule is take money from people in whichever way they prefer to give you money. So I have a Patreon that I don't really promote, but there are some people who don't like subscribing on Twitch for whatever reason and prefer Patreon. Bomber Dan, thank you for the tier 2 sub. I appreciate that. And thanks for the 2nd month in a row. First time tuning of the week, the beard looks like it did turn out really well. Do I just put them to 1 here? There's really no reason for me to play into a Ritual of Soot, right? I think I'm just gonna Incongruity this on their turn. Eva. No, I don't really care if my Incongruity gets spell pierced, and making the elf a lethal attacker this turn is valuable. Looks like right now I have 3 lethal attackers, so they need like 2 blockers or 2 removal spells here. Or a Krasis, yep. Hey, Rozkaz, thanks for the chicken out quip. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoy your brush. It's a weird concede. Yep, yeah, the icon letting you know what cards your opponents know is new in the latest patch. I think I'm gonna trim this because replicate, that's a real word. Replicate, I can speak English. Replicate's a bit of a liability against a deck full of removal spells. The number of infinite combo, number of cards required regardless is impressive for standard. I agree, Dauber. I agree. This deck's not going to combo that often, chat. We know and understand that. That being said, the goal is to have a fair deck that can sometimes combo. Yeah, I want to trim elves here just so they get caught up in Ritual of Soot. Some number of Assassin's Trophies probably not unreasonable because they do have Thieves. They probably have, like, Planeswalkers and stuff like that, too. Toxic Flames. Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Of course, we got you with the timeout. I am undefeated in RPTQs. Of course, I've never played one, so that probably helps, but I am technically undefeated. Yeah, let's leave one of these in. I think the expected value of unbanning Rampaging Frostodon is low. You either unban Rampaging Frostodon and it's obnoxious and you have to reban it and that looks bad, or you unban Rampaging Frostodon and it does nothing, and then it's like, why'd we bother unbanning it? Always look at things in terms of expected value. I finally got the cards for Mardu Party Bus, and not only is the deck a hoop, but I find my opponents constantly complimenting. Nice, Rod. Why not board in Duress and Negate? What cards do I cut for Duress and Negate? Duress and Negate could be okay, but what am I trimming? Why am I trimming that? That statement can apply for all cards, kinda. Like, the rest of these cards are already in the format, and there aren't a bunch of, most other cards aren't banned. And that actually can't be applied to all cards, because take, for instance, Stoneforge Mystic in Modern. Stoneforge Mystic is a card that would create new archetypes around it. Birthing Pod, Splinter Twin, these are cards that would introduce new archetypes. So they're different than something like Rampaging Frostodon. Rampaging Frostodon wouldn't create archetypes that don't exist. It would just slot into existing archetypes. Thanks, Rock. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think the Teamer deck's mono blue matchup is pretty reasonable. It's one of the reasons why I played it. I mean, even just double Biomancer's Familiar Slimefoot's really good here, right? Like, I'm just gonna get to pay 1 mana to make 1/1 starting next turn if they don't have removal. Yeah, Jason Bloodbraid were unbanned with the goal that they would introduce new decks to the format. Yeah, see, I was clever, and I didn't play against my really bad matchup until the finals. That's how you want to do it. If you're going to have to play against your really bad matchup in a tournament, make it like the finals or like 1 round in the Swiss. I guess if I was smart, I would have played it in the Swiss instead of losing to it in the finals. Hey, Captain, good morning. I said good morning, and I like had to instinctually check the clock. I was like, is it actually still morning? So, do I Krasis for 2 here? I'm going to start by attacking. I think I'm maybe supposed to Krasis for 2 here to block the Thief of Sanity. That shock was really weird. They have like a negate. If I was a real professional, I'd have done it in round 5, exactly. At least I dodged my bad matchup until the finals this time. Usually I hit it in the quarterfinals. Usually we die in the quarters. Baby Krasis 2. It's a 2. I'm not sure on this, but I think there's actually no roping in the direct challenges, which could be a problem. Obviously, I don't want to accuse anything of anyone, but if there's not a rope mechanic in the direct challenge best of ones, that could be a problem, especially with only a 3-minute delay. I would play the deck list I played yesterday, card for card again. The build I played yesterday in the tournament to the finals is great. That's the one I would recommend playing. It's the version on my website. I think being able to see deck lists is ideal and preferred for tournaments where the players can watch the coverage while they're playing. I prefer deck lists be available. I am very pro data. Having deck lists available allows better Magic players to be more successful. If you are good at Magic, you should probably prefer deck lists be public for tournaments like that. Yeah, the game 2 of the finals is definitely good television. Alright, so I do this, then I think I play a 4-4 here. Just like, I just want to get this Krasis out of my hand, so that way they can't Thought Erasure me next turn. Hey, Thumulus, thanks for checking out the Harry sponsor. The razors are wonderful. Actually, use mine again. I got a little bit of browns creeping back here on the neck. Remember, chat, just because you have a nice beard doesn't mean you have to have a neck beard. Be well groomed. Fight the stereotype of Magic players. Be well groomed. Thank you, Kason, for the biddies. Block. Yep. Dive down. Rough. Alright, so I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Best beard NA, support the beard best age. Listen, I got the best beard NA on my side. Listen up, kids. Probably dead here. Think I'll ever use a green screen? Nah, I don't think I'll ever use a green screen in my day-to-day. We'll use a green screen for special things on occasion. When we do the stream with the morph suit, we'll probably do some fun things like that. Like, you want to see my case, or you want to see my part list? This is the part list of my current computer. We are dead. On to game 3. So, seeing that they're on Drakes now, I'm going to cut this Replicate and put in a cast down. I might even want 2 cast downs. Case plus monitor setup. My case is pretty bland. It's just like a black box. It's got a window on the side of it. And that's my second router that I'm using as a wireless bridge at the moment. My second router that I use as a wireless bridge. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Biomancer's a pretty good draw. I think I'm going to lead on that because I'd rather this die than Growth Chamber Guardian. Is there any merit to splashing red? I'm not sure, Loma. I think it might just be too clunky and be too many three drops. I use 3 monitors. I have a 27-inch monitor in the middle that has Magic Arena windowed and Twitch chat on it. And then I have, I think these are 22s on each side. One for my Twitch dashboard and one for OBS. I mean, this deck is definitely just a worse Sultai deck. We knew going in. We knew going in that this was a worse Sultai deck. It's a Sultai deck with a combo thrown in. And again, just like I'm always looking for meaningful takeaways from playing decks like this. And my meaningful takeaway from playing this deck is this card seems really good. And an adapt-themed deck doesn't seem like a terrible possibility. I forgot to attack for 2 there because I clicked through it. It still gets me sometimes. On Magic Online, when you press your auto pass key, it still stops and lets you declare attackers. And on Arena, I forget sometimes that it doesn't do that. Hellkite with that card. Yeah, that could be sweet. Yeah, that could be a good builder on Pokemon, I agree. Have a good one, Max. Yeah, there's a ton of different things you could do with this deck. One of the things that you gotta be, and this is something that I think, like, you know, like right now we talked about this is just a worse Sultai deck. So one of the things you kind of gotta watch with decks like this is like, if you don't have something especially interesting that you're doing, a lot of the times, especially as the format gets more solved, is you end up building worse versions of other things. So like, for example, earlier in the season, people had submitted some Simic Ascendancy build-around deck lists, and I had, like, by the time they came up to be played, I, like, drew up a bunch of different shells, and after, like, looking at them all, I just ended up coming to the conclusion that, like, all of the shells that I had put together were just worse versions of the Temur Climb deck. So, building a strictly worse version of something else is, like, a place you want to make sure you're not ending up with a brew, unless you're, like, trying to do something wacky like a combo. Thanks, Ludwig. Grixis Strikes is interesting. They can turn this into a 5/5 this turn. Add this one to my trophy case. Attack for 7. Temur Climb is under UGX Climb on the website. Or maybe it's just blue, maybe it just says blue-green. The deck's basically straight blue-green. One of the best things about the tournament was 4 or 5 times your opponent did something that seemed odd on the surface, They had no idea why. Then it cut to your audio explaining exactly why your opponent did it. Yeah. Yeah, the format for the tournament is definitely really sweet. And, like, being able to, like, hear our feedback as streamers as well. So they have enough in here to pop this off. Do I play around dive down here? Slimefoot is only Saprolings. It's not... Slimefoot is not, Blood Artist. This card would see more play if it was Blood Artist. I will happily dole out that timeout. So, I'm sequencing in this manner because now to make this a 5/5, they have to tap out, which means I don't get blown out by a dive down or a spell pierce here that they would otherwise be able to save their creature with if I played the Incongruity pre-combat. So, I'm giving them a free block, basically, but I'm also guaranteeing that their 5/5 gets off the table. Lands would be convenient. Our hand is definitely pretty good. How often are they going to run these rivaled events? Second place was 1,500. I don't know how often they're going to run them. What was the last one was in November or December, I think. So every few months, it seems, at least. We were not able to split in the tournament. All right, well, this is lethal. They don't have a dive down or a spell pierce. The problem with playing a third creature is a third creature gives them the ability to, like, play a bunch of discoveries and stuff like that to chain into being able to kill me in the air. Yeah, the money, I think I need to work out the details with Christy and figure out where we're going to send it. But I think I'm actually going to donate the prize money from yesterday to somewhere. Like... The prize money, that tournament was, like, extra, and I wasn't expecting to make anything on it, right? Like, we just played it to make content, because, like, playing tournaments is fun. Like, y'all pay my bills, so, like, the extra money. I've been meaning to, like, get to a point where we could do something good, because this, like, makes more money than I thought it would make. And I want to make sure I give stuff back, because I think that's important. But we need to sell the old house before we do anything big, but this is something we could do early. Yeah, I need to do a little bit of research. Yikes, that's a big merfolk trickster. But if you donate to one charity, it's like taking money from all the others. Go on, Merca. Right? Right? It's just, oh, people. All right, so... do I have any advice for someone who would want to make a living out of streaming? Don't quit your day job. You should never expect streaming to be a job. Most of the people who find success on platforms like Twitch or like YouTube at this point come from other places where they have an audience or like something to springboard some initial audience off of. So like for myself, my initial bit of audience was from traveling to play in SCG tournaments to eventually get noticed so other people could get some eyes in front of me. You should, if you want to stream, I think streaming's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun, but you should definitely go into it with the mindset of, I want to do this because I enjoy it and not because it could be a job. Like, I've been a Twitch partner for almost 4 years now, and I streamed for a while before that. And I didn't turn this into a job and put all my energy into this, spending 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week on this until it was able to pay me like a job. Because I had, you know, other jobs to work and kids to take care of and stuff like that. Like, we didn't put my kids in daycare until this paid me like it was a job. I got you, Turkey. Yeah, like honestly, if you're starting from nothing, especially if you're interested in doing magic stuff, like trying to qualify for one of those initial 52-player invitationals, like the players that qualify for those 52-player invitationals that aren't MPL streamers, that's going to be the best way for people to be able to launch themselves into notoriety. And at the end of the day, even if you have a little bit of notoriety, there's still a lot of variance in it. There's like everything, like being lucky and not being unlucky has a big part of it. Like, you also have to be good at streaming to be successful, but there's also things outside of being good at it that are outside of your control that you just can't really impact. It's a lot of right place, right time type stuff. Hey, thanks, Courageous Squid. Yeah, the deck's a lot of fun. I'm gonna bookmark that one, Derelict. Thank you. So, I think at this point, I was gonna hold the Krasis to wait until I had adapted this, but because they tap down to 1 land tier, I think I just play the flying blocker out. You have to be lucky, good at streaming, good at the game you want to play in that order. I agree with that assessment, Caterberg. Lucky, good at streaming, good at the game. Yep. Thanks, Carl. The deck's a lot of fun. I agree. This Surge Mare is so incredibly rude. Ugh, they have Surge Mare with Obsession. Alright, so I think I just want to, like, max out on having lots of mana here. Since this Surge Mare is going to beat me down. I guess I could threaten to race them too here. And part of that comes with experience too, Atheist Vengeance. Like, there's gonna be the MPL players are gonna get better at interacting the longer they stream too, for a lot of them. So what are we hoping to draw here? Just one of our removal spells? They stacked their triggers wrong there. They definitely should have drawn from the Curious Obsession before putting this in the stack. I wonder if they have auto-order triggers on. That might have got them caught up. Alright, so I get to do that. Hey, Nemesis Guest, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. I'd probably rather go Growth Chamber here. Oh, you know what? So I made a mistake here. I should have attacked with this before playing anything because I missed 4 points of damage. If I attack with this pre-combat, I missed 2. If I attack with this before playing my spells, they just don't block. Almost certainly. Oh! Knave could block the mare. Yeah, I'm super dumb. I just said the words out loud. This is unblockable. And I didn't think about that this could block it. Yeah, thank you. Good call. They're dead here if they have nothing and I attack with everything, right? It looks like that 2 points of damage I missed last turn's a big deal. Yeah. Yep. Trickster's gonna buy him time here. Although I guess at the same time... I want to attack with these as well. I don't know, figure it out. I did miss 2 points last turn. I already have all of these. I think I just pass here. Am I dead in the air? Taking 5, 9... I'm just gonna go ahead and pass priority here and then play the Knave out post-combat. Alright, so... the 2 damage I missed probably didn't matter. Or maybe it did because I could have attacked with the elf and then adapted the other one. I think the black blocker here, so I can block Surge Mare, means I'm not dead this turn. I think the fact that I can block Surge Mare means I'm not dead this turn. Just like hoping I don't realize I can block. Maybe they're just dead, like their out is hoping I don't block. The pre-combat pump is because they're dead regardless. They're just hoping I make a mistake. They're hoping they just like because it's been unblockable otherwise, right? Like I even forgot that I could block it for a turn. So the pre-combat pump was hoping that I would just go, oh, I'm dead and concede. And like if they're just dead, there's no loss in trying that, right? Like attempting to make me go, oh, I'm dead, like doesn't cost anything. They might have also forgot it could be blocked. No, any good modern dredge primers. There was a Haruya player who wrote a bunch of dredge content, I believe at some point, Garden Variety Troll. Hey, me, why not? Awesome. Well, thanks for being here watching. I'm glad you enjoy it. You can always find deck lists. We stay very organized around here. You can always find deck lists for things that are going to be coming up on stream in the deck queue on my website. Oh, this just doesn't do enough, right? I guess it goes 2, 3, 4. That's not good enough. That seems much better. Ooh. Might have been greedy to keep this. I don't know. With double Incubation Druid, it seems good. But I do like really want to land so I can like play a Baby Krasis next turn. Now I wouldn't change anything. I'm gonna play the same deck list card for card at the at my Paper Magic tournament next month. Alright, so we know they have a protection spell that costs 1 mana, because if they didn't, they would have cast Opt last turn to hit the land. Okay, are you committing more to the board here? I picked Temur over Sultai because Temur is more aggressive. I want to thank you for your efforts keeping a clean chat. I had an opportunity yesterday to watch some other streamers during the tournament, and portions of their chat being disrespectful and outright rude towards other players and streamers was very off-putting. Thanks, Ian, I appreciate that. And in general, just to like, again, be positive towards other people. A lot of people often comment on how I'm more interactive with my chat than my average streamer. I'm just a little bit better able to multitask than a lot of people, and I think a lot of people just don't have enough moderators. In my experience, a lot of people, especially people who make content for a living, they generally put up with a very low tolerance for, like, putting down or crap talking other players. Like, some people allow, but a lot don't. And I think a lot of the negativity you see in other chats comes from people, them just, like, not having enough moderator staff, basically. That's a 7/7 Terramander. That's a 7/7 Terramander. Yikes. Alright, I think I chump block here. I think I chump block. No, I'm missing a piece. You need Knave to combo too. Hey, thanks, Zero Power. Good to have you here. So if I do this... and then I can shock this in, and then I can adapt. I can adapt this, which then lets me adapt, this, which then means I can't play anything else this turn, but it gives me a massive Krasis for next turn. I guess they probably just counter that, though. I think it doesn't matter. I have a lot of mana, but I'm not sure that it matters. I can't play both Biomancers because this requires green to activate, so it would still require double green to play out there. So I have 12 mana here, which gains me 5, but they have 8 power in play, which sucks. So I think I'm dead. I guess we just do it. But we are exactly dead, which is so unfortunate. Close game. Yeah, so to wrap on this one before we move to the next deck, believe it or not, our 4-card infinite combo never got assembled over the course of, you know, 3 or 4 matches or whatever it is that we played. That being said, looking at takeaways from the matches that we played, Biomancer's Familiar was like really impressive in the games that we played, and I wonder if there's something to explore with this card, not only with these 2 cards, with these like playable adapt creatures, but also with maybe Scraggan, Hellkite, or some other playable activated abilities in the format. And again, the way you make a synergy card like this work in Magic on average is you want to take other cards that are constructed playable and pair them with a card like this. So this card, so your deck is still good even when you don't draw the familiar, and then when you do draw the familiar, it pushes your deck into overdrive, basically. Yeah, it could be Bant with Shalai, maybe. Shalai, and this also makes Shalai and Resplendent Angel really good. Oh, gosh. You could curve Familiar, Resplendent Angel, activate Resplendent Angel. That actually sounds really sweet. Bant Angel with Biomancer's Familiar could be a fun thing to build. Listen, Burgle. We have Ravnica mana, okay? The mana is better than it will ever be in Standard. It also works with Shalai's activation, too. Yeah. All right? I mean, that sounds sweet. So, like, if you're looking for... That is why I like playing random decks like this, because we get these sweet cards in here, and we get to learn, like, does this seem good or not? All right. To any of my Tier 3 subs out there, or people who donate, that'd be a fine build-around submission. Or you could build it yourself and submit it for $10.